Hey, what's up? It is your girl Beyonce Aloysius from Hot 1079. And yes, it is that time. We're over here in the B studio because we are talking to the one and only from Who's Hot, Hot 1079's birthday bash, Daniel John. Hey, I feel
Hey,
like we're
hey,
like the
hey.
studio audience. Got to get everybody, what's up? So, how are you?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
Great, man. We are straight off the heels of Birthday Bash. And, one thing for me, I love Birthday Bash season. But more importantly, one of my favorite parts is Who's Hot. That is my baby. And we always have had so much success with finding new, amazing talent in the city. Meg the Stallion performed, but when she was still an unsigned new artist. Big X the Plug 2 years ago. It's got a great track record, which really means good things for you because you performed at Who's Hot
Yes.
and you set it off. Big shout out to Norris. Norris works in our digital department. He was like, "Yeah, I know him. He was really good. He remembered you." So, how does it feel, being like right there on that cusp as a new artist where you're already making that kind of impact and that level of success? Like you're right there.
Well, it's been surreal. I've been doing music my whole life. I really started taking it professionally around 2017.
Hmm.
And there's been a lot of ups and downs with it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's a journey. So really starting to get to that point where I'm getting that recognition. And I'm so close.
I
It's
know, and
it's
it's like
it's
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 what's up.
it's like the itch, like when you're almost home and you got to go to the bathroom. You're like, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I can feel it, like
Right.
and you're right there. The success is right there. And
Right.
then your dad was a reggae artist, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
what kind of like with your music, because you do R&B and you're such a great stage performer. What kind of influence did your dad have on you growing up and like getting you into music? Did you see him perform? You're like,
Yeah. Absolutely. So growing up, my dad, he would always be playing music in the basement. I seen him when he was passing out his mixtapes
that's so sweet.
at the block parties and everything when we was in New York, and just seeing everything. He put my first instrument in my hand,
What was it?
the alto sax.
Okay, now
Yeah,
you can play.
yeah, I still play to this day.
What? How many
Absolutely.
instruments do you play?
The main one would be that I play the piano a little bit, but I would say the main thing is my sax.
Okay, so I have a test for you. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm left-handed.
I'm telling you, this is a thing. Most artists are people who are like musically inclined are left-handed. It is something about like the left side of the brain.
Hmm.
I'm serious because when you said that, that's what made me think about. I'm right-handed. I was in the chorus, but I cannot read music to save my life. I might be able to hold a note in the shower, but like actually reading music, that takes such talent. How hard was that for you?
For reading music,
Hmm.
yeah, it took some time. It took some time, but it ended up coming to a point to where it's like, especially for me now, I kind of just hear it, and it
Hmm.
kind of just makes sense with me. Like I can hear something, a song, and just give me a couple minutes, and I'll be able to play it
Are
on
you
my
one of those
sax.
crazy talented people that can hear a note and be like, "Oh, she went B flat," or "Oh, she went A minus"?
Actually, yeah.
I've always wanted to be that person and be like, "That's a A flat." I can't do it. I can't even tell you what a flat is, but that's really impressive. That you're very smart, like on this side of the brain. So,
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm very very impressed. Now, when you're making music, a lot of people when they do the tracks and everything, they have producers and other people doing it because you're so musically inclined. Do you play your own instruments and do you make the tracks, or are you just a writer singer?
Actually, I'm just a writer singer.
Okay.
I feel like, especially right now, shout out to my team, by the way, because I have some really great producers and engineers on my
Yeah, you do.
side that really, you know, that's their lane and
Hmm.
that's what they do, and they are great at it. So I try to focus on everything that I'm good at, which is the storytelling, the songwriting, and the singing. So
Yeah, and you're a Leo, so you're one of those people like you like to know what you do, and like that's your lane, and you let everybody else kind of do their thing.
hmm
So, how deep are you into the horoscopes?
I'm at the point to where it's like I read on it and
Hmm.
I look at it a little bit, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That aligns with what I'm doing. But I mean, I don't like to, I guess, get the horoscopes to kind of dictate what
Okay,
I do and how I am as a person.
I know a lot of Leos. You guys are leaders, but you're
Hmm.
also like, and you're very creative. But then what would you say like if you had one gift and one curse of Daniel John that you'd be like, oh, I'm really great at this, but you know what? I could totally improve on this. What would it be?
Mm, I don't know. That's actually a really good question.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about
So
that.
for example, I'm a Taurus. Shout
Uh-huh.
out to all my Tauruses, Bull Nation.
I love Tauruses. My mom's a Taurus.
Really, when's her birthday?
May 6th.
On May 2nd.
Oh, wow.
She's my Taurus sister. Hey, birthday twin. How are you? So we are the most, I think, for me, my gift and curse would be I'm super loyal, super loving, homebody, but it is true. We can be really stubborn. However, that is only because we're absolutely 100% right in everything that we think about. And and we're just trying to prove our point. So that is my gift and my curse. So if you were to say your gift and your curse, it would be
So I say I I feel like I do tend to have the leadership qualities. I feel
mhm,
like I'm very strong minded. That in a sense is a gift and a curse.
mhm.
Um, I feel like I'm very observant.
Okay.
I feel like that's helped me with a lot of situations in my life, just peeping game and just knowing how to move through that.
Mhm. I could see that.
Yeah, and I feel like I do have a lot of passion, a lot of emotion in things that I do. Um, I wouldn't say that's a weakness though.
I don't think it's a
I feel like the
weakness.
weakness would be me being strong-minded because at some points there's things where I can get very tuned in and tunnel vision on
Mhm.
where I'm not necessarily seeing the bigger picture. And that's
Okay.
something that I'm aware within myself and I'm constantly working on a daily basis. So.
You know what I peeped about you? You're one of those people, and it's funny because you're a star, and yet you're the person that I will see fall back, let every like you said, observe. Right? You'll be standing back observing. You're not trying to be like in the light line, but then when you hit the stage, you transform into this whole nother person, and you're almost like an introvert extrovert, and the extrovert comes out on stage, and it's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
Would you say that for you?
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
Okay.
My dad kind of taught me, I just kind of need to just see things for what they are and be humble, you
Okay.
know. So I
That's
do
good to
like to
see.
fall back and kind of let things kind of take course and see how it goes.
And you have a new EP, Take Me Back.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Like what would you say your favorite song or your most, let me not say your favorite song. I don't like that question. Your most personal song, like something that means the most to you on there.
So especially about Take Me Back, I made it because, as I was saying before, my parents are both from Grenada. I'm a first generation American,
Wow.
born in New York but raised in Georgia. When I was a baby, like before I was 1 years old, I went to Grenada actually with a trip with my family. But not even being one yet, it wasn't something that I could take in, really grasp the island and the culture. So one day, I want to go back. So it's like take me back. And for me, especially being who I am now and the growth that I've had over the years, one day I want to go back and I want to do a show over there and really
Right.
build up the island.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be dope. And I really went the route with especially making you know, more so reggae music, Afro beats, just really having a international world type sound
Mhm.
when it comes to this project.
Love it. I love
Hmm.
it. And I love your song. You have a great video too, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Your manager was showing me that and I was like, okay. When I first saw your Instagram, I was like, wow, he is really good. So now for everybody out there, when it's Take Me Back drop.
It's gonna be dropping in August.
Okay.
Yeah,
So right around the
August.
corner.
Yeah.
And what would you say your lead single is?
At least singles Nirvana.
Okay. I
Hmm.
love that.
Nirvana.
And so you are going to Miami. Is that the video that you're going to be shooting when you leave here today specifically?
Yeah, that's one of the videos.
Okay. So
One
you're
of
going to
the
be shooting
videos.
several?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, we saw you perform at Who's Hot. When Daniel John goes on the road and you have a performance, there's always that guilty pleasure that we have to have backstage. It's going to, get us ready. What is your go to, like, this is what I need when I'm going to perform?
To be honest, I need my team. I always need my dad by my side,
Okay.
because especially for him, he had to make a lot of sacrifices to get me to where I want to be, and I want him to be along for the road and the journey, because it's his dream too. And he's always been there for me. That's my biggest fan. That's
Aw.
my guy. You
Shout
know,
out to dad, man.
so he definitely got to be there. That's like mandatory. And God, I mean, we actually got to pray. This guy, my manager, shout out to G Paul.
Paul,
He's very spiritual,
he is.
and I feel like that was a great asset that we added on to, especially the team as a whole, because we need that. You know what I'm saying? Who are we without that?
Big shout out to G Paul, man. He always puts it down. One of the most professional people I've got to deal with. I love working with him. And shout out to your dad. It's a beautiful thing when you see such interactive dads, and
Right.
they're so supportive. I think dropped them out. I have two boys. They're 5 and 7, and
Mhm.
so when I go to school and I pick them up after school now, I think it is so dope seeing, because the stigma is like, oh, dads aren't active, or
Mhm.
deadbeat dads, especially if you're not in the parents. And they're saying there's more active dads now than ever before. And I just think it's so cool when you see the dads at school high-fiving each other and having conversations and all that stuff. What would
That's
you
dope.
say the biggest lesson your dad ever taught you was?
That things need to be done. He always instilled that in me. For me, I kind of took that in terms of like everyday things. So for him, it was more so work. Like, for
Mhm,
example, let's say if my garage door broke, right?
mhm.
It has to get done now. Like, we need to fix it now. There's no point in
No
waiting for it.
procrastination.
Exactly. But for me, just listening to him say that over and over and over again, I took that with everything. Like, one thing about me, I embrace confrontation because a lot of times if you let things just stay and linger for so
Absolutely.
long, things can get misconstrued. That's how relationships get messed up, and
Mhm.
sometimes it's at a point to where you don't even know what you're arguing about anymore.
Right.
So I understand that people are different and that they need time to think and really just kind of like get their emotions out of it.
Mhm.
But I mean, we don't want to wait too long.
So so do you believe, if you're in a relationship, do you believe go to bed mad, or do you believe, hey, let's not go to bed mad. Let's go ahead and talk this out, work it out right now.
Absolutely.
Even if it means no sleep tonight and you got to be up early in the morning to go to work. I
I
had to
would
give you
say,
the I had to give you the
yeah. I mean, it's definitely situational, but for the majority of the time, I feel like it's important for us at least to get at a point to
Right.
where we're at least at an understanding. Okay, we're in agreement with this. Now we can take at least a step back or two, really think about what we're talking about, and kind of run this back tomorrow. You
Okay,
know?
I'm with that.
Yeah.
So get to like a nice meeting point. So we're
Yeah.
we're
Exactly.
cooler, but we still need to meditate, think about our responses.
Hmm.
So again, we're talking to Daniel John. What other projects? I mean, music. We know you're into that. We know you're going to Miami. You're shooting multiple videos. Take Me Back is dropping in August. What else is next for Daniel John?
Well, in terms of like collaborations or any shows like that, I don't have any big collaborations or shows unless I mean you have like a plug to like Future or
I mean,
something.
listen,
I mean, if you have a
he's
plug to
gonna
Future,
be in
you
town.
know what I'm saying? But I mean, the main thing is just me just really focusing on this project and making sure everything runs smoothly with that. Actually, I know my manager G Paul, he should be working. Have some things in works of exclusively inviting you guys to the listening party for that. So
Yes, I will be there.
yeah.
I want to be there front and center. But well, Daniel John, I'm so excited you're here. We're gonna have you back soon, especially when the album drops or the EP drops. But take me back. Tell everybody how they can follow you and keep up with everything Daniel John.
So you guys can follow me at I am Daniel_John on all platforms. That's Instagram, that's TikTok. You can see me on all streaming platforms at Daniel John. And I just want to say before we go, shout out to you. Thank you for having
Thank
me here.
you.
And shout out to Hot 107.9 for the opportunity.
Well, we
I
appreciate
appreciate it.
you. I cannot wait to see where the stars lead you. You are definitely, the next who's hot out of Atlanta, and I can only hope, pray, and imagine, and we get to see where you go next, because it's only up. You're so professional. You have everything together, and the music is absolutely amazing. So make sure you follow
Thank
him,
you so much.
Daniel John. He is who's hot right here. Hot 1079, your girl Beyonce Aloysius. Follow me at Beyonce ATL. And of course, we've got all the stars. Plus, we're going to put you on game and let you know who's the next one out of Atlanta. And today it's our guy, Daniel John. We're out.